raised it. But the inner person of everybody else was, this guy's actually being free, and he's actually being who he is. And he's challenging the status quo. And that's really what brought it. And then his concept of business, his taxation, the challenges to current society. We have norms for paying for education, paying for schools, paying for military, paying for the police, paying for the fire. Those are communal needs we have. We have communal infrastructures that we need to support. Our taxes are necessary there, but there are certain social programs which get abused and brought out by the media many times. And the concept of minimum wage, do we understand it? How does it hurt people? How does it benefit people? If I'm going to have to, I'm not in business, but if I had to go out of business because I couldn't afford to pay somebody, or I had to fire them and work harder, or have somebody work longer, how does it benefit the economy? We should have a competitive market where people get paid for what they do.
So if you were to sum up some of the reasons, some of the key points that you are supporting Mr. Trump, what would those be?
The healthcare issue, I lived through British healthcare, and the nationalized system actually did not serve my dad right. My dad broke his ankle, and the doctors and the system told him he only had 2 more years of working life, therefore it was not economically viable for them to fix it. We have a healthcare system that's flawed. We need it to work for everybody, but what we have now is not working. And in my personal opinion, it was passed in 6 weeks. It wasn't just vetted, it wasn't dealt with, and we're dealing with the consequences now. I don't believe it's going to get thrown away. I believe it's going to get modified, it's going to get rewritten, and it's going to serve everybody. One of the features is more competition, interstate competition between the insurance companies. If that makes our premiums lower, why not? The other thing is penalties. Some people are choosing to pay the penalty and not get the insurance. How does that benefit the system? The idea was younger kids will take it and they will cover people like me who are getting older and need more medical. It's not happening. We need to make it equitable. We need to make it fair for everybody, and we need to bring everybody into the picture. And equity and equality for everybody in the healthcare, that's one of the key things.
There are a lot of people that believe that Donald Trump has said things that are racist and that do not support many minority groups, Latino people, Black people, Muslim people. As a person from your cultural background, what do you think about being lumped into those categories by people who may not really understand or may not even know anyone who looks like you?
He's a public figure, and he said those things, and it became for everybody to hear. I've gone to the grocery market and been told Islam alaikum. Islam alaikum is a greeting that Muslims have. Now, if I'm going to get offended by that, it's my issue. I need to educate you that, thank you, that's a greeting, you meant it in good faith, but you didn't mean it to insult me. And now I can tell you what my greeting is. And in the same context, Donald Trump, in his group of minorities, has a Sikh member, Jasjit Singh, and we've been friends, we've been talking. He's got a Muslim in there. He's got Catholics, he's got Jews, he's got blacks, Indians, and all that. He formed that group right at the beginning. And yes, as a politician, his first statement after one of the terror attacks we had was, we got to ban all Muslims. I, in personal belief, do not believe he meant it that way, and he has corrected it, and he's apologized for it in terms of that context. But as a nation, our security is important to us. It's important for all of us. Our school kids' security is important. And when he comes out and says we need to vet immigrants coming in, I personally don't have a challenge with that, because I came in through the front door, I went through the vetting. And I believe it's only fair for everybody else to go through that. And my sister, my brother-in-law, and we all went through that. And if we come through the front door, there's no issues. Yes, there's a lot of people who come over and they came under the cover, as it be, and they've gone through the system documentation. Some of them did it under the Reagan plan. Some of them are still pending. We need to take care of that issue. We as a nation who sets examples to the rest of the world of our humanity and our caring and our compassion, there's no way we're going to be sending anybody back. We're going to figure out how to work the system just like Ronald Reagan did. He didn't send them back. We're not going to send these people back. But do we need a tighter border? Definitely. Do we need to bring in rigid controls of who comes in? Definitely. If I'm the one standing in London saying death to America, no, you should not let me in. As simple as that.
Now, moving forward, how do you see America moving forward with such division now that Hillary Clinton supporters are upset, devastated, feel threatened, and Donald Trump supporters seem to be coming out of the woodworks, more vocal, saying, yes, we did vote for him, now what?
Okay. I would, if I was able to, I would ask Donald Trump, and he probably does not want to step over our current president. Maybe both of them could come up and take the podium and tell our nation that we are one. But prior to this election, we talked about a peaceful transition. We're in the phase of a peaceful transition. One side didn't get what they wanted, the other side got what they wanted. But just like before November the 8th, we were one nation. We have people protecting us. We have people in uniform serving to protect this nation. My own kid is doing that. My nephew is doing that. And I got one nephew who's actually left the Marines. He's coming home. We have people from the left, the right, and the center defending this country. We have people in this country who are left, right, and center. We are unique because we cooperate, we collaborate, we share, and we comfort each other, and that's what we need now. We have a right to protest, we have a right to disagree. Yes, march across our streets. Tell us you don't agree. But we need to wake up in the morning, we need to come back together, and we need to hug, and we need to send our kids to school, and we need to continue building our nation. It's our nation, it's not somebody else's.
James, do you want to ask anything?
A lot of presidents are judged based on what they do in the first 100 days in office.
Yeah.
What do you want Donald Trump to do in his first 100 days? Be specific. What does he need to do right away?
Right away in the first 100 days, he's got both houses, and therefore he can be productive. He needs to come up with a constructive plan on how to fix the immigration. He's said he'd repeal and replace Obamacare. He needs to come out with a constructive plan on that. He wants to enhance employment. He wants to create opportunities for jobs. And he needs to come out with specific programs, like he said in Michigan. How is he going to create jobs in Michigan? He invited minorities by saying, Democrats haven't done it for you. What you got to lose to come to my side? They're there. I was always there, but I got friends who have come over, and now you need to create the environment where people can employ and get jobs. And the other thing is, if it doesn't happen before inauguration, upon inauguration, he needs to bring us together as one nation, one community, as neighbors, as friends, as co-workers, and ask us to shake hands, hug each other, and build the nation.
A lot of people say, I didn't vote for Trump as much as I was voting against Hillary Clinton. What do you think of Hillary Clinton?
To keep it simple, I've always taught my kids, and my parents taught me, go to school, don't copy off somebody, don't cheat, and simply put, having the debate questions given to you before the debate and having Donna Brazil being dismissed by CNN, that's my proof. I lost trust because of those things, and the resignation of the then DNC chair for information that was exposed. Whether the WikiLeaks emails are true or not, whether they're valid or not, we may argue as we like. But there are some things in those emails that to me are surprising and are shocking, and I classify that as overt racism. I would rather talk to somebody, just like we've discussed, of the issues of the diversity of America. I'd like an open discussion. I don't want somebody talking about me behind my back. And that is what I believe those emails were. I'm not going to use the words, they're not appropriate, but they're in the emails and we know those.
The wall. Good idea, bad idea?
The physical wall, I don't believe, may benefit us in many places, but we do need tighter security on the border. And the concept of a wall, yes, I have a firewall at my work on my server. The concept or the theory of a wall, yes, we need it. Will it be a physical 20-foot wall or not? That is for the immigration officers to decide, who patrol the borders, as to what will work for them and how they can keep what we need kept safe, how they can protect the borders, the citizens, and manage those people who want to come over legally.
Very well said. I get, you're well known in the Sikh community here in the greater Sacramento area. Do you get a sense that as a group, a religious group, or a cultural group, that a lot of Sikhs voted for Trump? Or was it an individual decision? Was it controversial? Did you have debates with your friends and family over who you're going to vote for?
There were a lot of closet voters for Trump.
Tell us about those.
I've received a lot of social media comments and feedback. We voted, and I posted up, there's a lot of sleeping tigers coming out of the woodwork right now, but they didn't want to say that they supported or they would have voted that particular direction. And that's the pleasure and the joy of our system. Our ballot box is secret. It doesn't matter what we talk about in public. What we do on that ballot is our choice, and we are allowed to change it at the last minute.
But why be secretive about it, or why not be proud to say, I voted for Trump? Why do you think they did it?
And again, I'll refer back to a message I received yesterday from a friend of mine. We both did it. Bros, you were out public and you were stomping and basically openly supporting. We're proud of you. But we probably wouldn't have got that if we'd have lost. We probably would have been called every other thing under the sun. But we sort of stood together, we had our issues and we went for it. And we weren't coming out of the woodwork 2 months ago or a month ago. We were out there right at the beginning, and like I said, I approached Tim Clark and said, hey, we need to talk. And when there was talk of a rally coming up, there was, originally there was talk that we would actually be there and we would discuss our needs or issues, but we've got our friend who's in DC, and we have our links.
Did you see him when he came to the airport?
Yes, we did. We were the two there. And Donald Trump, for whatever anybody wants to say, he came to both of us, and we both had our placards, and he said, you're both together? We said, yeah. He said, you can share one. So he signed our placard and shook our hands, and it was great. There is talk of a Irish thing who was evicted in Iowa at the rally. Clinton's rallies, Trump's rallies, they did not allow protesters of any kind. Had I gone to Clinton's rally, I'm sure I would have got evicted. Would the media have picked it up and reported it? I don't know. But Irish Singh got the publicity. He was there, he protested, and he got evicted. He wasn't challenged for his appearance, he was challenged for what he was doing. They want to talk about the red hat. Yes, he was wearing a red turban, but Donald Trump talked about his red hat, not that red hat. But I'm not going to defend Donald on that. It's between Irish and him. But for what I saw, I do not believe Donald insulted him.
All right, thank you.
Thank
We'll
you.
get a shot of the two of you sitting here, and then we'll put the microphone on.
All right.